Welcome everyone to Podcast 69 South, where we cuss and discuss true crime, cold cases, current events, and hot topics, along with our state of society today. This is your trigger warning. Our podcast content is produced for adult listeners 18 years of age and older. We discuss situations that may be offensive and triggering to some listeners. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome back, everybody, to 69 South. I am Chop, your host, and with me always is my beautiful co-host, Julie. How are you doing today?
Amazing. And you?
Good. We got any Patreon members this week to thank?
Yes. Miss Nicole K., thank you. And if you would like to be a Patreon member, please go to www.patreon.com/69south.
Help us keep the lights on and now the heat on in the studio. Appreciate you. This is part 2 of the Kinsleigh Weltys story, and if you didn't check out part 1, go back and check it out before you listen to this one. Today we're going to be diving into the chilling forensic interviews of Kinsleigh's 3 brothers, conducted by IMPD Child Abuse Detectives Sergeant Nicole Flynn on April 10, 2024. These statements paint a heartbreaking picture of alleged abuse inside the home. Here's what each brother revealed, summarized by your youngest to oldest.
Okay, so her youngest brother said that Kinsleigh stayed at the house, and it made her sad whenever Tony McClure, her mother, would smack her on the butt during timeout. And he described that Kinsleigh would escape the cage, and Mom and Ryan got mad. They would smack her and put her back in the cage. He also said that Kinsleigh pooped in the cage and had nothing to eat but bread while she was in trouble, and she wasn't allowed to play. Now, this youngest brother is very young, so, he couldn't say his age or focus very well, but he did draw on a family whiteboard, like drawing pictures of your family members.
Right.
And he
was old enough to know that shit was wrong. I guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah. And he even changed his mom's happy face that he drew to a sad face. So that was pretty much the information that they got from him. And then we move up to the middle brother, and he confirmed that Kinsleigh lived with them. He said when the kids got in trouble, they went to the corner, but Kinsleigh had a different corner, and she was also locked in the bedroom closet. Sometimes the boys slept in the bunk beds, but he said that Kinsleigh would sleep on the ground and that she would defecate in the closet. That food was kind of like a punishment. Everyone else got pizza. Kinsleigh got 1 sandwich a day, no drink unless she asked the mom, who never gave her one. And this is coming from a child. He said that Kinsleigh would call him stupid words from inside the closet. He called her names back before leaving for timeout. He also said that Kinsleigh couldn't leave the closet because the door was locked, and that this started after Thanksgiving, but before Christmas of 2023.
I wonder what her real beef was with, the daughter. She seemingly, to her standards, she seemingly treated
the boys.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say decent, but
But way better than she treated Kinsleigh.
Yeah, definitely. Now, she also had an older brother, but he lived with the grandfather, but visited Mom's house daily after school. He hesitated when he was asked questions about Kinsleigh, he pretty much basically pretended he really didn't know what was going on. And the detective had talked to him and told him that Kinsleigh was very sick and at the hospital. He came very emotional and upset. So they ended that interview early. But whenever they come back and they told him that Kinsleigh had passed away, and he started crying and was very, very upset and told the detective that he didn't really tell him all the truth of what was happening over there. So here we have three young voices, two consistent, horrifying accounts of isolation, starvation, and confinement. You have one voice that is silenced by fear and confusion. But anyway, these interviews are all part of the evidentiary record now. And we'll move on to what some other witnesses had to say about this.
Well, kids up there in the hood, they're basically programmed, to not talk to police officers.
And not really say what's all going on in their home and
right, exactly,
things of that nature. You grew up.
Yeah,
there.
I'm sure the mother was like, "Don't be telling nobody this shit, or you guys are going to get took away and put in a bad place or whatever." I could only imagine what she was saying to him.
I think we've seen on one episode, this little girl was describing their mother took her sister away and told all the other kids that, not in this situation, but in another like true crime thing I was seeing, that the little girl had got on the stand and testified and said that her mom and her mom's girlfriend told her that they were taking her sister to the bad kids hospital and they had starved her too. It was horrible.
I remember what case that was. Yeah. It was the two like gay chicks. Yeah. To the bad kids hospital. That's exactly what it was. I'm glad you said that, because I was sitting here trying to remember what the heck I was thinking about. I can only imagine the effects watching this whole escapade play out in front of their eyes. You don't really realize it till you get a little bit older, the way shit affects you when you're a little kid. You really don't realize it, because then as your own person, you get a little bit older, and then you look back and say, "Man, that shit fucked me up a little bit,"
I've worked with kids that, haven't been in the best situations, and, they're hungry a lot. And, when they get older, I would notice that they would just like scarf their food down so fast, and they would choke a lot, because when they were younger, they didn't have food provided for them like that. And they're not even thinking about that. It's just from what happened when they were younger.
Yeah, I could kind of relate to that a little bit. I remember there was times in my life where I was fed good, and there was times in my life where I didn't have shit as a kid. People that can remember way back when, you go stand in line, and you may be able to get a brick of the government cheese and a thing of eggs. You know what I mean? That was it. So when you do get something to eat, especially if there's other kids around, you're going to scarf that shit down before somebody takes your food. You know what I mean? Right. That's exactly what it's from. It's weird.
I've even seen kids like bite their own finger because they're in such a hurry to get it in their mouth that they bite off their own, not bite off their own finger, but it's bad.
It is. So let's jump to April 10th, 2024. Detective Nicholson interviewed Ryan's mother, MS, at the child abuse office. She stated the following during the interview.
MS stated she had received a call to return to their business as soon as possible. She went to the business and/or shop and met with Ryan and one of the younger boys. MS stated Ryan told her that Tony had just called him upset because Kinsleigh was unresponsive/dead. MS stated Tony had actually called Ryan's cousin, CS, because Ryan did not initially answer his phone, but CS gave the phone to Ryan to speak with Tony. MS stated that she, Ryan, and one of the younger boys went to the house on Denver Drive. She stated at that point, DCS had already been at the house, and it was believed that whatever happened to Kinsleigh happened after DCS had been at the house. MS stated Tony wanted them to pick up all the other children because Kinsleigh was unresponsive. She stated Ryan immediately went into the house and retrieved their newborn baby and took her to the car. MS stated she went inside and observed Tony just standing inside of her bedroom. MS stated Tony did not say anything. She just stood there with a blank stare. She stated that she did not observe Kinsleigh inside of the house, so she asked Tony where Kinsleigh was located. She explained that Tony told her that she was in the back bedroom, laid on the bed and underneath a blanket. This was the same room that the closet was located. MS stated that she was under the impression that Kinsleigh was already dead at that time. MS stated she and Ryan then took the rest of the children back to her house, and then she denied any further knowledge about what had occurred with Tony and Kinsleigh.
See, that's weird to me a little bit because, well, for one thing, it's kind of messed up is Tony's first reaction is self-preservation and not to fuck up anything she's got going on. So come
Her
and get the other
daughter's-
kids. Yeah, come get the other kids before DCS and the police get here.
Right.
And then this mother goes in there, MS.
What would you do if one of our kids called you and said, hey, such and such is unresponsive. Come here now and get my other kids. When you got there, would you be like, you would be like, where
are they at? Let me see if I can help. What the fuck happened? Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to walk in here and say, oh, you think she's dead back there in the room? Okay, cool. Come on, kids, let's go. That just doesn't fucking fit the puzzle pieces in my head
at all.
No,
I mean, as a mother, a step grandmother, all that, I would be running in there trying to start CPR myself.
Right, absolutely. Anything.
But that's just me. You know, all people react different. There's the fight or flight response in traumatic situations and stuff like that. But it's just wild to me.
She also stated that she had last seen Kinsleigh for her birthday in early December of 23. She stated Kinsleigh did not look right. She explained that Kinsleigh's hair was thin and raggedy and the color of her skin was not normal. She stated Kinsleigh's face was sunken, but it was harder to observe the weight difference because of the clothing she had worn. She stated Ryan was told that something needed to be done about Kinsleigh's condition. She stated that she had first met and observed Kinsleigh in November or December of 22. She stated Ryan, Tony, Kinsleigh, and the other children lived with her for some time in 23. She also explained that Kinsleigh to possibly be bipolar or have schizophrenia because she would be okay one moment, then she would be completely different.
It's not the fact she's bipolar, schizophrenic. Maybe it's because of the way she was being treated at home.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure it's possible, but I've never really heard of a 5-year-old being
bipolar or schizophrenic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it happens. You don't know what's going on through a kid.
It seems rare.
Yeah, it seems really rare to me. I mean, people seem like that's an acquired mental condition. And by acquired, I don't mean like you want to have it or anything, but it seems like it's something that gets worse with age. Like the older your brain gets, maybe the more it shows.
Do you think an environment plays a bigger role on children's mental health than like the children's genes or DNA or genetics?
I'd say it's 50-50 if you want my honest opinion.
I have no clue. I was just wondering.
I think that, I mean, you look to your parents or whoever's raising you and you kind of, mimic their actions and stuff. And then genes obviously play a lot, have a big role in it.
Definitely.
MS also stated that Kinsleigh would wait until everyone went to bed and then get into all the cabinets. She stated that she really did not see Kinsleigh after they moved into the house, and she stated Tony would not bring Kinsleigh to any family gatherings when she would see the other children.
MS stated Ryan had to come to the house approximately 6 months earlier and discussed with her the various issues with Kinsleigh and Tony that needed to change. She stated Ryan told her that he dealt primarily with the boys and Tony dealt with Kinsleigh. Ryan had told her that he had experienced nightmares that he would wake up and find Kinsleigh deceased. She stated Ryan was afraid Kinsleigh was going to die, and that Ryan expressed that the relationship between Tony and Kinsleigh was massively different than the relationship Tony had with her boys. Ryan told her There was resentment from Tony towards Kinsleigh, and MS stated that she had heard Kinsleigh tell Tony and Ryan that she did not like them and that she did not want to be there. She stated Kinsleigh told them she was going to continue to act how she had, and they would just have to deal with it until somebody took her away from them. She denied knowledge of the closet and how it was being utilized. She stated Ryan did not come to her about the issues after their long conversation, but she did routinely ask Ryan about Kinsleigh's status. She explained Ryan just told her that everything was moving in the right direction.
We'll be right back.
Discover Rosie Posey's farm stand at 6082 East Hadley Road in Mooresville, Indiana. Home of the sourdough bagel bombs. Crafted with love, these bagel bombs burst with flavors like Asiago cheese, jalapeno pepper, blueberries and cream, and everything bagel. Their artesian sourdough loaves come in classic, chocolate chip, jalapeno cheddar, and garlic parmesan, just to name a few, and they are pure perfection and the best in the area. If you're craving some sweets, they have homemade cookie sandwiches and cookie dough and s'mores flavors delight. Grab a farm fresh flower bouquet from the iconic pink roadside stand and go follow Rosie Posey's farm stand on Facebook for daily menu items and availability. Visit Rosie Posey's for an unforgettable taste experience at 6082 East Hadley Road.
On April 12, 2024, Detective Nicholson was notified that DCS had just received a report with information that involved Tammy Ann Kinsleigh, Plainfield Community School Corporation, Director of Food Services. KC reported the following to DCS.
Now, Tammy is the grandmother, which is Tony's mom, that is also charged in connection with this case.
Tammy is a kitchen manager at an elementary school, and she previously reported information to another employee. She stated that while Kinsleigh was staying the night at her home, in order for Tammy to sleep, she had to tie the child to the bed. She did this because Kinsleigh would not stay in bed as she wanted to get up and eat and drink. It is unknown how the child was tied up or for how long at a time. It is unknown if the child sustained injuries. She has been managing the kitchen since August, and she talked about having the child frequently up until October. It is unknown how many days or nights the child stayed with her.
On April 12, 2024, Detective Nicholson interviewed the Plainfield Community School Corporation director, so I'm guessing this was her boss. Now, she stated Tammy was one of her food service managers and that Tammy had 3 to 4 employees underneath her supervision. She stated the night before that one of Tammy's employees called her and told her that Tammy had watched Kinsleigh often in the past. She stated that this witness told her that Tammy had talked a lot about it at the beginning of the school year about how bad of a child Kinsleigh had been. She stated that this witness told her that Tammy had expressed that she had tied Kinsleigh to the bed so that she could sleep at night. This was because of how Kinsleigh would get into things at night. She stated that this witness told her that Tammy talked like that about Kinsleigh from August until the end of October. It was implied that Tammy had taken care of Kinsleigh a lot during that time. She stated she had also talked with Tammy about the situation earlier that day. She stated Tammy told her that she picked up the boys every day after school and will take them back home on Denver Drive. She stated Tammy told her that she would see Kinsleigh every day when she took the boys back home, but that she never noticed any issues with Kinsleigh losing weight or how she had died. She also explained she had also heard from other employees that Tammy had been telling them Kinsleigh drowned. She stated Tammy had not said anything like that to her previously. She confronted Tammy about the drowning story, and Tammy told her that Tony had said that she was giving Kinsleigh a bath, but she walked away, and when she did, Kinsleigh drowned in the bathtub. She stated it appeared to her that Tammy was being dishonest when she told her everything that had happened with Tony and Kinsleigh. She stated Tammy just appeared disingenuous about the entire situation and that Tammy was hiding her involvement from her with the police.
I mean, she tells this coworker that she sees Kinsleigh every day and doesn't notice any problems or weight difference with this girl.
But months before that, she was, talking about how she had to tie her down to the bed. I think she's duct taped, actually. Duct taped her to the bed.
I think that comes out actually in her own words. I believe that's
one of her
comes
messages.
Out. Yeah. I mean, how bad does a 5-year-old little girl have to be to where you have to duct tape them? What you do is you feed them where they ain't hungry no more and run their little ass off out in the yard, and usually sleep comes next.
It's natural.
It is natural.
Wow.
What a horrible situation for this little girl. None of it really makes much sense at all to me. But on April 12th, 2024, Detective Nicholson and Detective Davis interviewed Tammy's mother, JB, at the child abuse office. She stated the following. So this would be Tammy's mother, which would be Tony's grandmother and Kinsleigh's great-grandmother. She stated Ryan had called them and told everyone that Kinsleigh had drowned in the bathtub right after DCS left the house. She stated that she did not see Kinsleigh during the eclipse on Monday because she has cancer and has been bedridden. She stated that around Christmas of 23, she and Tammy observed that Kinsleigh did not look well. She stated it looked like Kinsleigh needed vitamins, but Kinsleigh had baggy clothing on that made her, kind of difficult for her to tell her physical condition. She stated Tammy brought protein shakes for Tony to give Kinsleigh. She stated Tammy would ask Tony if Kinsleigh was getting her protein shakes. She stated Tony was a monster that deserved the death penalty for what happened to Kinsleigh. She stated that there were plenty of family members that would have taken care of Kinsleigh for Tony, but Tony never asked anyone. That's pretty bad when your own grandma says she deserves to die for that shit. It's one thing to have our opinion for it, but for your own grandmother to say that about you?
I think if she would have actually seen Kinsleigh and noticed her condition, I think that she would have called and got help for her. But somebody was, steadily making phone calls to DCS. It was like pretty much from November to January, every couple of weeks, calls were being made, and the DCS was just closing them.
She wasn't really seen by the public much, I don't think. Because if I saw a little kid like that with poop in her hair and bugs on their face and all over, man, I would definitely have to say something or intervene.
You could not.
No, hell no, I couldn't.
So on April 12th, 2024, the detective interviewed Tammy Halsey at the child abuse office. The detective read Tammy her Miranda warning, to which she stated she understood. She agreed to speak with detectives further about the case. She signed the advice and waiver of rights form, and here's what her interview stated.
Tammy stated that on Tuesday, April 9th, 2024, she received a text message from Ryan that advised he wanted to call him. She wanted her to call him. Tammy stated around 6:30 p.m. she called Ryan, and he told her that Tony had been giving Kinsleigh a bath when she walked away from the bathroom. Tammy stated Ryan then explained that Tony told him that when she returned to the bathroom, she found Kinsleigh underneath the water and unresponsive. She stated she still believed that to be what happened until the recent media stories had shown what Tony had said to detectives. She stated that she had spoken to Tony while she had been in jail, and she told her that she did not understand why Ryan said that it was a drowning. Tammy stated that during her recent conversations with Tony, she had not talked with Tony about what happened. Tammy just admitted she told Ryan to lie to the police/DCS about how long he had had the children. Tammy stated she just did not want to lose the other children.
As Tammy explained the events of the past year, it appeared that Tammy was trying to minimize her role and participation with everything that happened with Kinsleigh. Detective Nicholson presented several photographs of Kinsleigh's physical condition at the hospital from the day she died. Tammy did not appear to be surprised and admitted she should have done something to get Kinsleigh help when she first noticed that things were not right with her. Tammy stated DCS had been at their house in Mooresville 4 times looking for Kinsleigh and Tony due to reports on Kinsleigh's condition. Tammy stated she never helped DCS locate Tony for any of the reports. Tammy stated she wanted to give Tony a chance to get everything together for Kinsleigh. Tammy stated that she had seen Kinsleigh on Sunday, April 7th, 2024, for a party at LM's house. Tammy stated as soon as Tony arrived, she immediately told Kinsleigh to go to the corner because she was in trouble. Tammy stated Kinsleigh had to stand up and remained faced directly into the corner. She stated Kinsleigh remained like that for as long as they were at the party. She explained that the next day, April 8th, everyone came to their house in Plainfield for the eclipse. Tammy stated Tony had put Kinsleigh in the corner again in the same manner because Tony said that she was in trouble. Tammy stated Kinsleigh remained like that for several hours of the eclipse party. Tammy admitted she would watch Kinsleigh alone at various times when Tony and Ryan and the rest of the children went somewhere to do things. Tammy stated she watched Kinsleigh twice at Tony's house. The first time was right after Christmas of 2023 when Tony and Ryan went to South Carolina. The second time was when Tony gave birth to her newborn baby in March of 2024. Tammy explained she observed how Kinsleigh's physical condition worsened over the course of the last 5 to 6 months. Tammy stated that Kinsleigh was last completely normal around October of 2023. Tammy stated she thought about calling the police or getting Kinsleigh medical attention, but she never did because she did not want to risk Tony losing custody of her other children. Tammy stated she first discovered that Tony was putting Kinsleigh into the closet just before Christmas of 23. Tammy explained Tony had first shown her Kinsleigh inside of the closet while they were on a video call. She stated she observed the closet in person and what it had been used for just after Christmas of 23. She observed fecal matter on the wall inside of the closet at that time. Tammy stated she learned from Tony that Kinsleigh had escaped the closet and Tony had to put a gate inside of the closet to prevent Kinsleigh from getting to the door.
That's a shame that they put that baby in the corner for you. I mean, at all. The whole thing's a shame. But to miss the eclipse, man. How many people were at
this party? The eclipse was what? April 8th. I'll never forget that day, and here's why I won't forget that day. So we have a neighbor who on eclipse day, she had a baby, but she didn't go to the hospital because she was on some drugs, and she had drugs in her system. So she had this baby, and I remember there was like police, ambulances, everything like down our road, and it was horrible. Even the police said it looked like a murder scene inside this house. And the reason they had called the police is because the girl that had the baby had lost so much blood, and they were afraid that the person who was there with her was afraid that she was going to die.
Yeah, not only I think she was on some kind of drugs and everything, but I'm pretty sure she had a couple warrants for her arrest. So she was like, fuck it, I'm just going to have the kid here.
And then Kinsleigh passed away on April 9th the next day. And I remember that because that's my dad's birthday. So she had been in the corner the day before for several hours. I don't know. I just feel like there's more people that have more culpability in this. I mean, 2 days before she died, she's at this gathering at LM's house, and she's standing in the corner for all these hours, and nobody, not one adult there, looked at her and thought that something's wrong. You know, I mean, she's got fecal matter in her hair. I'm sure she wasn't cleaned up.
I mean, keep in mind, this is a 5-year-old that weighed
21 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, if that don't look right, you know.
And then she was at, the eclipse party, standing in the corner. It's just wild to me that no other adult stepped in to help this baby.
I wonder if, she was lying to some people,
She was lying to everybody.
She was saying something about her broncho flap
floppy
was
trachea.
Yeah, floppy trachea,
and then she had mild dwarfism. That was
That's
just
what she
some of
was
her
telling,
lies.
some bullshit, though. I mean, so you never know. A lot of family might not want to get involved in it. They really believe that the little girl had, you know, birth defects or, you know, that type of situation that
Not
she was
her
just
mom
talking
and her
about.
sister.
No, they knew. They knew exactly what the fuck was going on.
Absolutely, they did.
One of our kids would have had to done something. I don't know what our kids could have done to make me let them miss the eclipse. I mean, that was a once in a lifetime deal. I'm still in shock by that.
Oh, I got a story about that, but that's later on.
We can't just say, "Oh, I got a story about that," and then just shut us down. That's kind of BS.
Well, I'll tell it when we get done telling
All right.
it.
Tammy stated that around mid-February of 2024, Tony mostly kept Kinsleigh in the closet except for when she left to go anywhere. Tammy stated that in mid-March of 2024, she had been at the house and observed that Kinsleigh was in the closet. She explained it was around mid-afternoon, and she told Tony that it needed to stop. She did not get Kinsleigh out of the closet at that time and knew that Tony was not going to let her out when she left the house. Tammy stated that she knew Kinsleigh was in the closet most of the day by that time because Tony had told her that. She recognized that it was wrong for Kinsleigh to be in the closet like that, but she did not do anything about it because she did not want Tony to lose custody of her other children. She stated that she would receive whatever punishment because she did not do anything to help Kinsleigh.
Additionally, Tammy explained that she had watched Kinsleigh a lot during the summer of 23. Tammy stated that she used duct tape, here we go with the duct tape, to try and keep Kinsleigh from getting up at night. Tammy stated that she used the duct tape twice on Kinsleigh in the same night. She explained how she put the duct tape on Kinsleigh to keep her from getting out. Tammy stated she first put the duct tape over her legs and taped it to the bed covers. Tammy stated Kinsleigh was able to get out of this, so she put more duct tape over the top of her shoulders, upper legs, and lower legs. Tammy stated she had taped it to the bed covers again. After about 20 to 30 minutes, she said Kinsleigh was moving out of it, so she just ripped up the duct tape and gave up. She stated that this had occurred at her house in Plainfield. I couldn't imagine being duct taped to the bed at all. Like, I move around a lot when I sleep and flip around, and just how uncomfortable that would be, how scared this poor little girl probably felt. Like, why is this person duct taping me to the bed?
That would have to be pure torture for a little 5-year-old girl who has, you know, a lot of energy. And
they leave her sitting in a closet or the corner all day long. And
then duct tape you to the freaking bed so you'll not move.
I really don't see how she had any energy because she's not getting fed the proper amount of food. She's malnourished.
I was going to say something about that too. I mean, they said that just the day before or 2 days prior, she was standing in the corner all day.
The day before.
If you look at the images of this little baby's legs, it doesn't even look like she had the energy, the muscle mass, or anything to even stand up.
It looks like just a bone that you would see with skin over it.
That's exactly what it looks like.
I mean, you don't see, it's like you don't see muscles or
there's people
tendons
posted this picture on the internet. We're definitely not going to post it, but
I just cried whenever I seen it. That's how heartbreaking it was. But if you want to see it, you can go to
you can find it.
Pleadings in the lawsuit on my case. It's not hard to find.
And it will break your heart. So after the interview, April 12, 2024, Tammy was placed under arrest. PCO Copeland transported Tammy to the CJC. Tammy had been in possession of a black Samsung cellular phone at the time of her arrest. The phone was seized as evidence. I bet that cop was sitting there in the interview thinking, I'm about to put the cuffs on this chick, man.
I don't know how police officers do it. I'm sorry. I don't understand how they do it.
I wear my emotions on my face. I mean, you can see if I'm like disgusted or
mad,
pissed off. I can only imagine they must train to have the game face that they do in interviews. We watch that shit all the time on TV, and a lot of them are just stone faced when they're hearing some of the most vile bullshit like this. The day after Tammy's arrest, she had a coworker that got interviewed. The coworker stated that she worked as an employee under Tammy's supervision. She stated Tammy had only been working with her since around December of 23. She could not recall when exactly, but she had overheard Tammy talking about how Kinsleigh was over hyper and exhibiting ADH-related behaviors. She stated Tammy talked about how she would have to tie or hold Kinsleigh down to prevent her from getting into things at night. She could not recall any further specifics about what Tammy had said. I couldn't imagine doing this shit, let alone going to work and telling everybody, yeah, I had to duct tape my old granddaughter last night to the bed and her legs. And
It's like there's no shame at all in the things she's done.
it's like they don't see anything wrong with it. Like, oh, we could, there's no way I could call DCS or the cops to help my granddaughter live because I didn't want the other kids to suffer. I mean, what about
And I
Kinsleigh?
didn't want them to know that I was duct taping her to the bed.
Insane.
So on April 13th, 2024, the detective interviewed Tony's sister, LM. Here's what she had to say during her interview. That she did not know about anything until her mother, Tammy, called and said Kinsleigh was dead and that Tony had been arrested. She explained that she had seen the fire truck and ambulance come through the trailer park. She lived in the same mobile home community as Tony did. She stated that Tony had called her Tuesday afternoon and told her that DCS was coming out to the house. She stated Tony asked her to take JH, to which she agreed. She stated she went and picked up JH from school and called Tony, but Tony did not answer. Later that same day, she received a Facebook message from Ryan. She stated Ryan assumed that she had already knew what had happened, but she did not. She stated that she only knew what Tammy had told her that evening. She stated that she did not see Kinsleigh at the party on Sunday that was at her house. So this party's at your house and you didn't even see her standing in the corner of your own house? I'm sorry, but I don't buy that. I think you're a liar. So LM stated she did not see Tony or Kinsleigh at Tammy's house for the solar eclipse the next day because she had left before Tony arrived. She stated that she did not see Kinsleigh at Easter, but she did see Tammy and JB.
Who the fuck goes to a solar eclipse party and don't?
They all had to
stay
be
for
there
the
at the
solar
same time
eclipse?
because they're all there for the same reason, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole ordeal was like 15 or 20 minutes long, like 3 or 4 minutes, solid blackout.
Well, we had a comment on one of our posts about Kinsleigh that said, allegedly, now this is allegedly, that the sister, Tony's sister, had made a post about how everybody was at this eclipse party and that she had got to see everybody. Well, anyway, the news came out about Kinsleigh had passed away. And one of the girls who commented this was asking questions about it. Well, if she was just at your house the day before, why didn't you say something or do something? Well, I guess she deleted that entire post about the eclipse party and blocked that girl. So something must have rattled her cage.
Something's awful weird there. And, you don't see your 5-year-old niece at Easter. I mean, that was always a thing. Like when we were growing up, the little
Big
girls'
family, like
Easter
Easter.
dresses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody wants to see how all the little girls are dressed up in their hats and Easter dresses.
Even if we don't see them, our kids send us pictures of
Right,
all of our
right.
grandkids. So she stated that she last saw Kinsleigh on Christmas Day of 2023 at her house, even though she was just at your house 2 days before this, standing in the corner. Okay. And she explained Kinsleigh was very quiet, but she had always been quiet. So what is it? Is she this ADHD hyperactive child, or is she a
quiet kid or a kid that won't shut up so bad you got to duct tape her and put her in a closet with a gate on it?
Now, she stated it did look like Kinsleigh needed more protein. It's weird how they're calling it just protein. It's food for a baby. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
not just protein. It's
called
milk,
meals.
dairy. Yeah. So she needs more protein. No, she needs more food. That drives me nuts. So she stated Tony told her she was trying to figure out Kinsleigh's diet because of a prior G-tube related issues. She stated that she gave Tony ham and turkey to give Kinsleigh because of the protein. She stated that she told Tony she needed to give Kinsleigh vitamins. Tony told her that she knew and that she was working on it. She stated she always checked in with Tony about her children, and Tony had told her that everything was good. She stated she never watched or took care of Kinsleigh. Tony never reached out for help or advice on how to take care of any of her children. She stated she never agreed with Tony's parenting styles, but stated she'd wish she had seen something because it was devastating what happened to Kinsleigh. And I believe she did see something. I mean, she was in your house 2 days before she died. I just don't believe her. I think she's lying through her teeth.
On April 13th, 2024, the detectives interviewed Ryan's cousin / really good friend. And this is what he said during his interview. He stated that he was Ryan's cousin and close friend. He stated that on Tuesday, April 9th, Tony had called him and told him that she needed to talk with Ryan. He stated that he and Ryan went to pick up one of the boys from school, and they brought him back to their shop. CS stated that he did not know why or what happened. He said that he worked with Ryan, and then he picked Ryan up for work and drove him to work every day that they did have work. He stated that he drove a white Chevrolet Malibu. He would usually hang out with Ryan for an hour or so after work, and he would do that about every other day. He said that he never saw Kinsleigh much, and Ryan did not talk to him about the children. He said he stayed the night at the house a few times when they first moved into the trailer, and he said that he knew that Kinsleigh was in the closet at that time, but never asked why or anything like that. He stated that he never saw Ryan interact with Kinsleigh. He stated that he did not know that Tony, or he stated that he did know that Tony would go back in the boys' room and deal with Kinsleigh, but he did not know how those interactions went. He did not know anything further that could assist the detectives. Man, when dudes go to work, I'm just telling you right now, we talk about pretty much everything. You know what I mean? If I was wrong with my cousin / best friend on the way to work, what in the fuck y'all got that little kid in the closet for, bro? What's really going on? What's really going on in there? Some weird shit. I mean, some of these people that weren't family, like you said, maybe they could have thought it was dwarfism or, I mean, you do see skinny kids, but it wasn't just the fact she was skinny. It was her whole outward appearance.
All of it together.
And I understand the cops can't arrest every single person that ever looked at the baby, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It just seems like there should have been more people to say something.
I feel like there's more people that knew what was, had an idea.
Even an inkling, yeah.
Of what was going on. But I want to read some of the comments under our last post that we made about Kinsleigh. And, the community is on fire because of this. They are hot. And some of them say, this dude that did this is one of my competitors in business, and it makes me sick. Okay, and one of these comments says, I live down the street from this business. Every time I drive past it, I think about that poor little girl that was abused and died because of her abuse. Can't help but think about it. And then he's been recognized a couple of times and asked to leave by homeowners. So I'm guessing this Ryan Smith works on people's homes. That'd be scary to have somebody come in your home or at your property or whatever and work on it, and them being part of something like this. I think I would lose my mind.
Yeah, and we was talking about how I wear my emotions on my face. I don't think I could keep a not fuck you face looking at this dude, you know what I mean, knowing all the shit that's went on. I guess,
people drive past and they scream baby killer and things of that nature. But, call it as you see it. This little girl lived in your home. You've seen her every day. You were a father figure in that home. And you let you and this woman, I'm sorry, starved and neglected this little girl and did not take care of her, and mentally, physically, emotionally abused her. It's beyond me. I'm surprised that the death penalty is not on the table. But here's why I think it's not on the table, is because death penalty cases cost 10 times more to prosecute than, like a life without parole or something like that. And the politicians and stuff, they have to weigh, how they spend taxpayers' money versus, the punishment that they know they can probably get.
I'm sure she's going to be getting it in the jail because there's a lot of women in there,
That don't
a lot
have
of
their
mothers
kids.
that are missing the shit out of their kids and have motherly instincts. You know what I mean? And they're like,
I wonder if she's got to be kept in like PC, protective custody.
I'm sure they got her in a block with a bunch of other women that's probably in the same boat.
That's killed their children. I mean, I'm telling you, the thing with mothers these days, it's just like it's blowing up with all these mothers and parents doing the most horrible things to their children. What's that one story that we just seen in Wisconsin? Allegheny County, Wisconsin, they starved these 3 adults in this house. They starved this 14-year-old girl, and I think she only weighed 35 pounds at 14. And I'm telling you what, I'm not saying anything about
These people. Okay, how much did she weigh at 14?
35 pounds.
35 pounds at 14, and all the people that was arrested looked like they weighed between 400 and 600 pounds.
A piece,
Yeah,
not together.
Not together, a piece.
There was a couple 600-pounders in there.
Right.
Definitely.
So this poor little girl was locked in her room, not eating and shit.
Why her dad and her, what was it?
It was the
her
mother
dad
and I think the older daughter.
why she's got a pound of sausage and a dozen eggs for her breakfast alone, and you're not giving this little girl anything. Thank God she's still alive and she's in the hospital. But I think we might tell that story next too. It's so disgusting.
It is. And if it's not shocking enough that all the people that was real close to this little girl didn't say something, we don't know. They may have called CPS, but something else should have been done. I'm just saying that. DCS was called several times.
Yes.
And I guess around, was it 2021, they made this new law or this.
It was in 2021, and it was called the Safe Act. And what that did was like expedite things.
So
probably because
mainly,
of COVID and stuff like that.
Mainly if a DCS worker would come out and they couldn't put eyes on whatever the call was about, they could put it in front of their supervisor, and the supervisor could okay it.
For an expedient closure. And this had happened 4 times from November 6th to January 11th. So we know that Kinsleigh's biological father and her biological grandfather have filed a lawsuit against DCS for greenlighting expedient closures. Not only that, but for failure to act on all these times DCS was called. And I'm telling you, it started November 6th and it went like every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks they were getting called. Bam, 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 bam. And not once did they lay eyes on Kinsleigh at all. But what was weird is that her older brother, they called DCS on Tony relating to the older brother. Well, the next day she's like, okay, let DCS come and see him. And he had head lice and had to go, maybe she had to get that cleared up. Then he go back to school, but he was okay. Now, at the same time that these DCS workers are coming into the house, they came in for the older brother. They came in for the younger baby. When they know they haven't been able to find this mom for Kinsleigh, they know, hey, this is Kinsleigh's mom and Kinsleigh's siblings. But guess what? They didn't care to look for Kinsleigh at all these other times. And that's during all of this.
I'm sure that
it was just so
the house was
sloppy
probably
and neglectful.
Disgusting. And I mean, it's as your DCS worker, it's your job to make sure you put your eyes on the kid. I think that new Safe Act law is a crock of shit.
And to know that DCS was there that day, just hours before Kinsleigh was pronounced dead.
I'd like to think
DCS walked through every single room in that entire house like they're supposed to do, they would have. I mean, they come in, they check the water, the lights, food,
Refrigerator.
just the cleanliness of the home. They go through, they look at everything. And this DCS caseworker did not do none of that. None of that at all.
I'd like to think that it was Ryan's mom who was calling the DCS on him, every couple
It
days.
had to be somebody close and knew what was going on.
You got to look at it from her perspective, too.
What if it was the sister?
She probably didn't know how exact bad Kinsleigh was getting, you know what I mean? Because she didn't see her, right? And then she said that Ryan had said something to her about it a few times, and I'm sure he was like, maybe she was like, maybe we should call DCS or do something about it. And he was like, no, Mom, it's moving in the right direction, and then they're going to investigate, because they have a baby together. Like, then they're, it's going to get DCS all up in, my new baby's business, which is
right. I wonder if it was her sister. I just wonder, because I did a little Facebook digging, and I mean, I don't know just by looking, but she has some kids and they look like they're very well taken care of. And, she said she didn't agree with the parenting styles, but I just don't believe some of the shit she says. But she could have been trying to help behind the scenes without.
You never know.
You don't know. Like, it could have been weighing on her. Who knows who was calling, but
hopefully it was all of them. Props to whoever was calling CPS.
Shame that DCS failed this poor baby.
They absolutely did. That's horrible.
But they have Ryan Smith, his trial's coming up, I believe, beginning of December, maybe December 7th or 8th or something like that. And I think he is going to trial also with Tammy Halsey, the grandmother. And then Tony's trial isn't set. It's early next year. And they have filed all kinds of motions and all kinds of things in this trial. I would love to go and sit through. Oh, I would not love to go and sit through something like that, but I want to see what happens. I want to be there.
It'd be an interesting case to observe from that perspective of it, for sure.
Because there's no rhyme or reason that any of this should have ever taken place. And it's affected more lives than just poor Kinsleigh. I mean, her siblings, her grandparents, and in her obituary, shout out to whoever did her services, but they didn't put Tony's name in her obituary or the grandmother's name or anything like that, which I thought that was good. She don't deserve. She's not a mother.
No. And we was talking earlier about how it's going to affect the little boys that saw this.
Oh, yeah,
mess.
they're definitely going to need some therapy.
Even like subconsciously, because the boys were treated, I mean, not to the level they should have been treated as children, but I wonder if like subconsciously it's affecting them to the aspect of like you treating the males good and then you treat the female like this. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody had said in the comments that Tony couldn't stand Kinsleigh because she was a girl and that she was going to steal all the attention away from Tony. And that makes me wonder, well, did she really not like her because she was a girl? Because
you think it was like a jealousy issue, or
I couldn't imagine being jealous of my own
of a
small
5-year-old
child.
of a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I couldn't relate. I'm sorry.
I couldn't either.
But it had me worried for the youngest baby, because I believe she was a girl, the one that she had with Ryan.
Right.
Just imagine what her treatment would have been because she was a girl. Do you think she would have done the same thing over again there?
That had to be in the back of Ryan's head. It really did.
And for him to say that he loved her, I'm like, I'm sorry if I seen any man or woman, or like say I had a partner and they wasn't good to their own children. What the hell? Why would you love that? You have to love somebody with morals. If they're not going to treat their own children right, they're sure in the hell not going to treat you right.
It's like the complete opposite of most mothers. I mean, they like covet their daughters just a little bit more than they do the boys.
Unless you're a boy mom.
Unless you're a boy mom, but if you had a daughter, it'd just be different. You dress them up, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's.
That's why I love my grandkids, because they're so cute.
Amen. Anyway, we'll be praying for everybody, and hope everybody gets their shit together and everybody can get through this, except poor Kinsleigh.
And I hope Tony gets life without parole. I hope they all do, actually. I mean, they admitted to doing all this, so that's just how I feel about it.
That wraps up this week's episode. If you'd like to support 69 South and what we do, go to
www.patreon.com/69 South.
Until then, have a good day, good evening, whatever.